Morning everybody, here we go. I'm coming round here for a quick witter. Are we all well today? I hope so. I do hope so. Okay, so what's gone on since yesterday? Lots of running around for me, lots of doing bits and pieces and getting things sorted for others, but it's all good. We like this. We played around yesterday with a different sort of block, didn't we? So we've got our star block sorted. We had two lovely examples from yesterday, well, from the day before I should say, for that particular block. Then I set you all a little bit of a difference. Let's layer it up, chop it up, put it back together, see what we get. I did my homework after you went yesterday, so I did my three. So we got, right, so two little ones there, which actually by the time I'd finished, put them all together, allowing for the fact with lots of angles and it takes up seam allowance and it looks a bit weird whilst you're joining it, I then straightened it. We came out with 8.5 inches there, so when that's got a border on, that will be an 8-inch centre panel. And I did border one of mine. I don't know if you can see that clearly enough there. It's lime green, because I like lime green, and I just love it, I have to say. It might be that when I get to put all of my blocks together come the end, bearing in mind I haven't got a clue what we're going to make next, that outside border might be a bit strong and domineering. But if I put lots of lime everywhere else in the quilt, it won't be. But my other thought was that what might happen is that I take off an inch of this one and have like a double border or frame, some people call them frames, and that will tone it down a little bit. So there's ways and means of adjusting everything as we go along. Okay, so I thought that might work, and I wasn't quite sure which way up I preferred that. I quite like it that way, but I thought that was quite good. Next to the one that I've already got, what have we got going on? So it's like that and like that. Yeah, it might work, I think. That'll do. I had another thought as well whilst we were doing this. If you actually worked out a set ratio, distance, whatever, design to cut up your layers, it would be quite nice, wouldn't it, if we just did a whole stack, all different, put them all back together, and you could have a whole quilt. That could be interesting. So the whole quilt, all of one design. When they're put back together individually, well, sort of actually quite next to each other, I'm not sure that I like that. I think if you had them and then put, just as I say, a little frame around them and then join them all, and how cool would that be? I think that might be a doer. I don't know if I'm going to get time as yet to do it, because you lot are keeping me a bit busy, which is lovely. But it's something stashed to the back of the brain cell for possible future use. And my brain isn't actually doing what it should do, because I've just realised I didn't put my little piggy on. Oh, I could be wittering here forever. Let's say, should we put that up to, yeah, we'll put that to about there. And there's the little piggy, he's now going tick, 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 tock, and I'm going to stick him on the floor beside me so he doesn't drown us out. All right, so there we go. So when I suddenly go, it's the little piggy on the floor. Right, yeah, so I think if you've got loads of stash, how cool would that be? If you wanted to really, you could work out your templates for each piece. Now you've chopped that up, and just have hundreds of different ones, different shapes, and put them all together. Yeah, it could be endless. This is where things come from. I'm not going to say that that's possibly a new thought. It's just something that's gone through. Someone probably somewhere in the world has done this. After all, I'm quite strongly of the opinion that there's nothing really new in this world, as far as design and, you know, happiness and colour go, because there's takes on everything, but there's not necessarily anything majorly new. I could be wrong, but there we are. I like playing. So that was my homework done, and I'm pleased to say that on the Facebook group I set up, Patchwork Witterings, we've got somebody who'd already done this. So I'm going to do that with that. Can you see there three squares there ready to be put a board around or do whatever else with? Lovely. It might be a case of now we've got extras that we do different things with different ones. We could cut one of them up again, swap it all around, put it back together. It'll make it slightly smaller. Another border. You could do 4, chop them up, put them back together, individually 4, and then put them all together and make a block. Actually, when it gets to it, it's endless. It really is endless. It's probably passing into the crazy patchwork world as opposed to just the crazy lady, which I appreciate, I possibly am. But yeah, so I think that can be a real goer. So things to wish her about today. Have you done your tidying? Have you had a bit of exercise? Have you got up and run around? Is your name Ethel? In which case be careful, put your clothes on. But I think that would be quite jolly to do a little bit of I'm actually getting plenty of this because you lot, as I say, are keeping me quite busy. So I'm up and down and backwards and forwards and all the rest of it, which is a very good thing for anybody, I feel. Yeah, so okay, Tom is in the cupboard today, the visiting Tom the cat. He came in earlier. He's up the top there in his little basket on top of my scrap stash. He's just curled up and snoozing, which nice place to be, I feel, a nice way to be. It's not raining in Cornwall, that's a bonus. It is, however, a bit bloody windy, and it's chilly with that wind, so you know what, even more reason to be quilting. Okay, right, what have we got here in the structure of the day, order of the running and the like? So we've done your exercise and a bit of tidy. Yeah, we like that. If not, make that on your list to do today. And how are all your friends? Very important. All your friends that you might have that are possibly on their own, especially the ones that say, I'm all right, I'm okay, don't worry about me, because they're 9 times out of 10 the ones that we should be worrying about. Very good at putting on the faces. I'm okay, Jack, thank you very much, when actually underneath it might not be so good. And bearing in mind that we're all in this now for quite a while, it's not going to get any better. So, you know, a little bit of contact here and there and how you're doing is a good thing. I have chucked out a few messages myself, just to say hello, really. So that's good. Yeah, we like that. We've done the block 2 update. We like that. We've got any photos. That's the point. Any of you out there that have done either of these 2 blocks that we've now started with, please chuck us up some photos so that everybody can see what we're doing. I think that's a brilliant way. It gives other people ideas and suggestions and actually leads the way and thinks, you know, there's other people that are doing this barking mad plan as well. We like this. Oh, garden blooms. Little update for the, I've said this before. I run mystery quilts for UK Quilters United, and what I do is I have absolute great fun designing a quilt, and I generally try to make sure that it's blocks and things, because I then feed these patterns out to you 1 a month normally, or maybe 2 a month depending what the sizes of the blocks are and how complicated they are, and then with full instruction and full-size patterns, because there's nothing, do you know, I hate that. If I buy a pattern somewhere, I want to play and do stuff, and you get it home and you're all eager and you've bought all your fabric and you got your stash out and away you go, and the pattern's not to size, and then you've got to go trundling off down the road to find somebody with a photocopier or a printer or something that will size it up by whatever percentage to get it where it needs to be. I actually find that quite infuriating, and I actually have a problem when I try and download any as well, because I can never get them right. I think that's my technical ability as opposed to anything else, to be fair, but I do have issues with that. So all of my patterns when I'm doing are sent out with a full size pattern and what you need to do in order to make that block. And within my pattern I will normally put an awful lot of garble as to how to, and hopefully logical. I can be logical if I really have to, and photos of what you're doing. If it's a bit of complicated and I'm thinking, am I actually making sense and do you get this, I'll take a photo if I can and put it in. They always say, don't they, a photo speaks 1,000 words or whatever it is. In my case probably about 7,000, and most of them rubbish. but all good anyway. So my patterns are actually quite in-depth. So what I was really actually originally coming back to is that I run a couple of these quilts a year normally. You can find all the old ones and join in, and photos of all the old ones over on UK Quilters United, and also on my website in my shop. But the actual main point of all of this was to say that the ladies out there who are at the minute partaking of Garden Blooms, which is my latest mystery quilt going on, I posted all your patterns yesterday for this month. So hopefully, I don't know if I missed the post last night, our post is 6 o'clock finish, and bearing in mind the world's upside down and crazy, I charged down to town after wittering and doing everything else. Got down to the main post office there for about, I think it was like about 20 to 6. I thought, loads of time, we're all right, because it's literally opposite the sorting office. And I chucked everything in there, old wodge of it, off we go, lovely. I heard them hit the bottom of the post box. I reckon that they emptied early. So although you've all got first class on the way, I don't reckon they're going to have been picked up till today, or possibly even on Monday. So I apologise if they're a bit late, but they are on their way to you. And as is standard, any questions or anything, just give me a shout. All right, so that's Garden Blooms. Okay, so that's lots of lovely happenings going on there. Brilliant. Right, now I am actually getting lots of feedback from you lot, which is superb. Please keep it coming. Obviously there is a bit of a serious underlying my idiocies and my witterings. I'm just trying to create us a safe space, a happy space, but I'm going to let this one infiltrate a little bit. Oh, piglet. So I must wrap up in a minute. I've been asked about making face masks. Okay, I've done a little bit of research. I'm not what I would call a dressmaker. I'm a fiddler faffer and a play around and all the rest of it. But this could be a very good thing for us to be doing if we've got a bit of a spare time and some spare fabrics. I would, however, recommend you do a little bit of research before you start making. Okay, there are patterns out there which look actually quite easy to follow, sort of A4 size patterns, all good. But different places are saying different things about who needs them, what quality they need to be, are they actually useful, and who they're useful for. Okay, material type, what works better, what doesn't work better, and what you need. All these different things. There's actually quite a bit of criteria going on here, especially if you're not just using it from yourself. If you're gonna want to be doing this, I don't know, donate to your local hospital or whatever's going on, do a bit of research first. But I think we could possibly make a bit of an impact. I'm not going to demonstrate one because there's a lot out there already, how to, what to, and all the rest of it. And I think it's a personal choice, and I think you need to do what's right for you and what you feel will work for you and your community if you're going to help further wider. Okay, so brilliant thing that you could be doing. Go out there and have a little bit of a search around Google. That'll occupy you yourself for about half an hour or something, wouldn't it? Just whizzing into Google. By the time you've gone and be careful what you put in the search. Face masks. You could land up anywhere, couldn't you? Welding sites and stuff. Who knows? So yeah, a nice little bit of research that will keep you occupied for a bit longer. Then you can go and tidy your stash and for your 10 minutes exercise or your 5 minutes exercise. And then when you've done that, and whilst you're in there, you can pull out of your stash some scraps ready to make some face masks. How cool's that? All right. So I think personally a very good thing. I'm going to stop wittering now because my little piglet went off on me. That there was a quilt that I was going to show you, but I'm going to show you that tomorrow now. Okay, because I think you've probably had enough of me in your ear roll. This is a free pattern that I've put out on the internet on my website. Okay, all the instructions for each block are on my website that you can download, and I've hopefully done it in a way that you don't actually need templates and things to size. You can work them out for yourself. So you would have to go in onto my blog. My website is actually abbieanne.com, ABBIEANNE.com. Okay, so abbieanne.com, and you'll find links off of my Facebook page, and this will be on YouTube and all. It's all getting very but it's called double snuggle. Okay, it's a double snuggle quilt. But I thought what might be nice is in between doing the blocks for these is I could show you a few of the blocks for this. All right, so a little bit more in depth for anyone that's struggling with that. I've already started. If any of you want to start it, as I say, over to my blog. You might have to go through the archived months. I think it started last June or something like that, but you will get 2 blocks a month on my blog, and then you can see what's going on. All right, I am dubious to the title of it now, because I called it double snuggle, right? Because I'm thinking lap quilt, yeah, because you're there watching your TV and all the rest of it, and then it gets pulled. It might get pulled by another half, it might get pulled across by children, it could be animals even, who knows. But you'll end up with not quite so much of your lap quilt as you thought you should. So I decided I'd design one that was a bit bigger, but was long ways as opposed to up ways, if that makes sense. So what's that, landscape, portrait, yeah. So I designed it landscape, so the actual design is across instead of up and down like we would normally see. Because my thought was, actually, do you know what, it's big enough to go over 2 laps, so I called it double snuggle. But with all this isolation going on, should we be double snuggling? There's a question for you. Answers on a postcard, preferably a fabric one, because that's another one that I'm going to do in a few days' time. I reckon some postcards to us all would be good, don't you? Right, okay, I'm going to sign off now. I've wittered and wittered as I normally do, and I have gone off topic to what I thought, even though I've got a running order and everything. Keep your pictures coming in, ladies and gents. I have to say that, and gents. Any ideas for anything you want to sort of look at or whatever, message me, write it down, whatever you want to do. I'm going to come around the table as I do now, and turn you all off. Okay, there we go. Off to do all your bits and pieces, girls and boys. Have a happy day. Bye.